Hey there, Castlebrook students. This is Mr. Corrigal. The focus of this video is the short answer section on the OSSLT. Let's get started. I want to go to, we're going to be at several pages within the EQAO website. The first one I want to look at is under Student Resources. Once again, under Ontario Secondary School Test. Instead of going to our sample test, I just want you to go and check out Planning and Preparation Guide. This page gives information about the test itself, and the thing that I want to focus on right here is sort of what's left over. The last two videos have been about the news report and the series of paragraphs, which are the two large writing sections. Those two things are worth 100 points each of the 400 for a total of 200 points. So half of your marks are in those tasks. What I want to look at today is the rest. So as you can see, the short answer section, they're based on 5 reading selections. 3 of them are shorter. So you have an informational paragraph, which is this length, 225 to 250 words. The news report is also that length, and you'll also get a dialogue at that length. The longer text that they'll give you is a real life narrative, and that's between 550 and 600 words. And there will also be a fourth video or a fourth session dealing with the graphic text. As you can see here, that the questions will be asked in the form of a multiple choice and also open response. I'll show you what those look like. Okay. So right here, we're looking at the question book from the OSSLT. What you see here is a news report. So the reason I know that is because you can see that some quotations are being used here at the end. This is a somewhat of a headline, and the newsworthy event that they're focusing on is Luzarda's selection for an internship. Okay, let's get to the questions. So these questions are asked in the form of multiple choice. One thing that we should look at before we start these questions is a resource that I found helpful before, and this deals with the relationship between questions and answers. What you should know is the makers of the OSSLT test will ask questions in 4 levels. The first level is a question that asks you to find something right there, that's right in the book. There's not a lot of thinking on your part, you just have to find the information. Level 2 question, you still need to search and find, but perhaps you'll have to find things from 2 parts of the text, which will require you to think a little bit. Perhaps they'll ask you to compare 2 parts of the text. Thirdly, a level 3 question. This is also called inferencing, but this is where the student and the author must work together. So the author will supply some of the information that you require for the answer, but you as the reader or test taker will supply the other part, and you'll work together. And then a level 4 question, and sometimes these questions take students by surprise. These are questions that are completely on your own, where you do not need the text at all. The answer will not be dependent on the text. So, armed with that information, let's take a look at the OSSLT. What you see here, question number 1, what will the focus of Luzarda's internship be? This is a level 1 question. We just simply need to find the answer from the text. So when we look up to the text, we see here that internships, it won't be too long after that word where we find our answer here. It says Randolph Luzarda, 21, from Scarborough, was one of them. I'm very excited. I'll be working in the LucasArts division animating video games. And here's our answer. That's a search and find. Not a lot of thinking on my part. So here I would select C, video games. And I'll show you how to do that on the answer booklet shortly. In this case, this is, you must think, but you also must search and find. So what they're asking you to do, which word is closest in meaning to confidential as used in paragraph 2? I have to find that word confidential first off, and then I have to think about what's closest. So if we go back up to paragraph 2, you can see that these numbers along the right hand margin, those indicate which number of paragraph is beside it. And you can see here the word confidential. He says, that is Randolph Lizarda, they wouldn't tell me. It's confidential. It says, I don't even know what we're working on. They wouldn't tell me. It's confidential. The way I would answer this question is, who is the they? And in this case, the they is Lucas Arts Division, which is a company. Because it's a company, I guess you could say professional, but it's not really a synonym to confidential. The two closest words in meaning to confidential are either personal or secret. If this were an individual, for instance, perhaps information could be personal and therefore confidential. However, because we're talking about a company, it's not personal. It's more of an industry secret, and therefore the answer is F, secret, is the closest in meaning to confidential in paragraph 2. These ones here, these questions are there's inferencing involved. You must work together with the author. This is sort of a level 2 question still. The question, according to Quesnel, what ability is most important for an animator? The first thing we have to do is find Quesnel. As you can see, it's capitalized. It's a proper noun. This is a person. So if we go up here, we see that Dave Quesnel, who teaches animation, is one of Lizarda's professors. So he says here, let's read his quotation. He's an excellent student. That's one of the quotations. He also says, I had a really good sense of his storytelling. He had the basic principles of animation, but it was also comical, and that's our job. Anyone can make a picture move, but to make it entertaining, that's the craft of an animator. So you see from his response, he does say, anyone can make a picture move. That's the technical side and the basic principles of animation. But there seems to be an emphasis on storytelling. But it was also comical. To make it entertaining, that's the craft of an animator. So when we look at the question asks us, what ability is most important for an animator? And really, all of those things, being entertaining, being comical, crafting a good story, that skill is pleasing an audience. Creating characters is rather a technical skill. Developing a demo reel, technical. Programming computers is also the technical side of animation. What Quesnel is impressed with in Lizarda is his ability to storytell and please an audience. Okay. In question number 4, let's use the same quotation. Quesnel, it sounds like he knows something of internships. He does focus on the technical aspects of animation, but not only that. Does he suggests interesting storylines to his students? I'm a little bit confused by the grammar here. I don't know if he suggests interesting storylines to his students. I think he enjoys when his students create their own interesting storylines. So in this case, the answer would be H. He recognizes skill and creativity in his students. This answer is the only one that balances skill and creativity. This one I'm not going to answer. You can check that one out and answer yourself. You have to read the different paragraphs and determine which one is in chronological order, meaning following the clock or the calendar. Lastly, this is an open response question. This is what they mean. Why is Lizarda a good choice for this internship? In this case, this is an inferencing question. You have to state your opinion, so you're responsible for part of the answer, and you also must use specific details from the selection. That's where you work together with the author. Before I cap this video, there will be another one, but this one's getting kind of long. I want to take a look at the answer booklet. So just a few things about the answer booklet. You see here that EQAO wants you to fully color in the circle in the answer booklet. No X's, no check marks, no googly eyes. So you can see in this case in the answer booklet we have the headline and the picture, so we know that this corresponds with the question booklet. And you can see here are 5 sections for the answers. And also, this is important, the open response. We see here that there's 6 lines. Therefore, we must write pretty concisely. We don't have a lot of time to waste or a lot of space to waste. So you have to do your job, which is state your opinion, and then also use specific details from the text in 6 lines. And you can see that details is pluralized, or is plural. So for that reason, you want to have more than one specific sufficient supporting detail. Okay, so that's it. That's video number 1 for the short answer section. I hope it's helpful. There's more to see, so perhaps I'll cut another video at a later date. Thanks very much. Study hard,